What do you know is true without evidence? What are you certain of? Right down to your bones. Without proof. That the key to happiness is low expectations. Back when I was 10, there was a competition for school kids to write a treatment for an episode of Doctor Who, with the best one being developed into a full episode in the next series and the winner receiving a writing credit. I was a huge fan of DW at the time, and the competition was actually run through schools. So my teacher made the entire class do it. But I was very excited. I began writing a story about the Doctor landing on a planet full of defective Cybermen, whose programming had gone awry and had been left on this asylum planet to rot. The Doctor lands there in response to a mysterious distress call from a woman and attempts to find and save her while avoiding the dangerous dysfunctional Cybermen and the looming threat of planetary destruction at the hands of the normal Cybermen. I finished my short treatment and gave it to my teacher to submit. Unfortunately, it turned out the competition was very strict about the formatting of submissions, and mine was returned because I had used the wrong formatting in some way. It seemed like a weird reason. I was a bit disappointed, and that was the end of that. But then, a year or two later, there was an episode of DW called Asylum of the Daleks, which seemed incredibly similar to my story except with Daleks. So incredibly, eerily similar, in fact, that to this day I am absolutely convinced that Stephen Moffat saw my script and came up with a formatting excuse so that he could remove me from the competition, steal my story, change the bad guys and claim it as his own. I have zero evidence. I don't even still have the treatment I wrote, or any letter from the BBC about my submission. And yet I know in my bones that Stephen Moffat stole his script from 10-year-old me. I believe you. Edit. Wow. This is my highest karma comment and my first award. Back when I was 18, I got my first tattoo. The Squaresoft logo on my upper arm. It was 2001 and I was also on my own in a new state. I was and still am a huge RPG fan, and it's the height of my geekdom. Well, I sent in a picture of me and my tattoo with a short letter about me and my favorite games to official PlayStation magazine. They published my letter and photo along with the caption, "We don't know whether to be impressed or frightened." The very next month they started a tattoo of the month section, and I am absolutely sure 100% that I either started that or was the story that proved the concept. The test. Unless someone can come from that team's time and tell me I'm not, I'll always believe I was the start of that. Edit. Here is a current pic of the tat. I looked for several hours to try and find the original that I sent in. I thought I had it saved, but I guess it's lost forever. Sorry everyone. As a member of the creative team, of which I am not, I can tell you that you are 100% the inspiration. The Truman Show was made to make me think the entire world watching my every move was a ridiculous notion. But I know better. I remember watching the episode where you watched that movie. That my cousin stole my holographic first edition Charizard Pokemon card back in the early 2000s. I audibly gasped. That's like a cardinal sin. I know for certain that the comments on this post would look different on Facebook. My brother deleted my game save on purpose. He was old enough to read. He knew what he was doing. I did. Oh shit, something's about to go down. Let me get my popcorn. That my last boss secretly hated me even though we had, on the surface, a very positive relationship. My boss acted like we were friendly and encouraged me to be open with her. And then I got fired out of nowhere. So, that was obviously an act. Edit. I get it, y'all. Huge mistake on my own part to trust this person. Lesson duly learned. I got fired for being honest on my annual review. She said I was obviously unhappy with my job and that I was too hard on myself. Like, I just said that I needed improvement in specific areas. I was comparing myself to people who had been in my position for over 20 years. Yeah. I'm gonna give myself a 3/5. I was too hard on myself. Look lady. You're just too hard on yourself. You're a lot better than you give yourself credit for. So. Anyway. You're fired. You're just not at the level we need you. You're just not at the level of delusion we need you. FTFY. For every sock that goes missing, a Tupperware lid appears. My ex-boss used COVID as an excuse to make me redundant because I was the only member of his team to be hired by someone else and not him. Fuck that guy forever. Lots of companies are using COVID to get away with all kinds of shit right now. 100%. We all lost our annual pay rises in April. Then in June we're told it's the best quarter the company has ever had. We work in IT. We got a temporary 7% salary cut so that they won't have to lay anyone off. I was alright with that. Then they laid people off anyways. Then they said it will probably last through December. Then I looked up the stock price. It's the highest it's been all year. It's 70 more per share than where we were last year. I'm not an economist, but fuck them. The Fed has worked hard to keep stocks up. But also your company may be funneling all that employee money into buying back their own stocks to bolster the value. My cat knocked over the water glass on purpose. As the timeless saying goes, cat knows. Cat doesn't care. Casey Anthony killed her daughter and her parents know it too. Edit. Thanks for the 2 rewards everyone. I've never gotten them before now. To me there's definitely evidence. But the justice system failed that poor baby. And to me. What's worse is last year she apparently said she wants another child/children. Yet I remember hearing the same thing. Are they still looking for the real killer or did it just die off? I have so many unanswered questions. They are not looking for the real killer because while Casey was not found guilty in a court of law, the courts and the Florida Department of Children and Families released a statement after a 3-year investigation basically saying that Casey was responsible for the death of Kaylee. Either directly see the theory proposed by the prosecution that Casey wanted freedom and chloroformed and duct-taped Kaylee, or indirectly by not protecting her from harm see the theory proposed by the defense that she drowned. Essentially, they don't need to look for the real killer. Because Casey is the real killer. Edit. Also always important to remember that a not guilty verdict doesn't signal that the person is actually innocent. It only means that they could not be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. In this case it seems like the conviction hung on the ability to determine a cause of death, which was not able to be done, and so with the evidence presented at trial the jury could not find Casey guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the crimes that the prosecution was alleging. There's a travel agency that's been around in my town for as long as I can remember. I wholeheartedly believe it's a front for the mob. You better keep quiet or you'll be taking an unexpected trip. We'll send you on a nice, long vacation. I've always wanted to see a comic about the mob telling some guy that he'll be sleeping with the fishes. Cut to the next screen and the guy is coming out of some underwater cave as a cigarette-smoking fish in lingerie comes out and in her raspiest smoker's voice tells the guy to swim by any time. Troy McClure? I thought you said that guy was dead? No. I said he sleeps with the fishes. We're all too in over our heads. This is truth, dude. This society is so fragile. We can't build even the simplest components we rely on. I'm a software engineer and I have no idea what's going on. Reminds me of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. in which the main character gets stuck on a planet with Neanderthal-like people and needs to survive with them. He tells them about all of the amazing things from the future. But then he realizes he doesn't know how any of them work or how to make them, and decides to make sandwiches for all of the people. I'm not sure if I would be able to make bread. Getting a name tattooed on your body is a curse both on you and the person whose name is on you for as long as you wear it. Tell that to my father, who has his own nickname tattooed on his arm. I think he reversed the curse by doing that because of the amount of luck he's gotten in life. He hacked into the universal BIOS through his own stupidity and got his luck integer to roll back over to 100%.